Hello, everybody. This is Jamie Farr, the superintendent of the Canandaigua City School District. Just doing a quick Zoom with all of you to update you as to where we are with our new nickname and mascot selection. As you may recall, last year we did a series of surveys, and we're ready to restart that process now that everybody's back in school. So hopefully this will just take a couple minutes and I can bring you all up to speed. Thanks for taking a few minutes to watch it with me. Just as a recap, last school year, the New York State Education Department released a regulation. It was in draft form last fall, and then it was enacted late winter of last school year, early spring of last school year, that essentially said public schools throughout New York State can no longer use nicknames and mascots that are related to Indigenous peoples. And so that, as you know, impacts us with our use of the name Braves and the use of our Friendship Belt logo. At that time, I assembled a stakeholder group that was comprised of staff, students, community members, parents, so forth and so on, of about 20 folks. And they really have guided this process. I facilitate those meetings and ask questions and kind of plan those meetings, but it's really their voice that's been guiding the process, and they've been incredibly helpful. And they certainly haven't always seen eye to eye on every topic. In fact, it was purposefully divided in the room amongst their beliefs and their feelings on this topic. Because we felt it was important to have all voices heard. Ultimately, we've done 3 surveys already with our community. On 2 occasions, the stakeholder group actually asked me to pause the process to get more student input. And what we've learned from that is 2 things. Number one, the stakeholder committee really values the students' feelings on this because they're the ones that are going to be living the new nickname and mascot more than any of us. So really they're very interested in what the students had to say. And then the other thing we learned from it is the survey is actually gleaning information that is in alignment with what students want. And so, it was great that we slowed down to get more student input. And it was great to confirm our path and our direction through their information that they're willing to share. The 4th and final survey is coming out incredibly soon, next week. And that's the purpose of this video, to bring you up to speed and talk to you about what that survey looks like. Ultimately, we hope for this to be a collective decision that the majority within the community gets behind, because ultimately we bring it to the board. And based on the Commissioner of Education in the state of New York, she has said that the ultimate decision rests with the board. And so the board will have to vote on the final determination. So here's the timeline. October 2 through 9 is registration to vote. And so for those who need to register, they need to register this week, so that they can vote next week when the actual survey comes out. This video you're watching right now is being released on October 6th, really just to help bring attention and information to our community and those who can vote for this, so they know exactly what is going on. Next week, October 10th through 15th, is the final vote. On October 30th, the board will approve, hopefully, the new nickname and mascot in a confidential fashion, because we plan to release it publicly on November 3rd through a reveal video. And so that's the timeline that we have before us right now. So who needs to register this week? If you're a graduate of Canandaigua Academy, but you're not a parent or guardian of a current student and you're not a current staff member, you need to register. Again, it's on our website and on our socials where you register. If you're a community member who's living in the district boundaries, but you're not a parent or guardian of a current student, you need to register. If you're a retiree of the Canandaigua City School District and you're not living in our district boundaries, you'll need to register. Once you register, we'll go through and we'll verify you are who you say you are. And then on October 10th, you'll receive your ballot to vote electronically through the email that you provide us. You do not need to register to vote if you're a current student in grades K through 12. You don't need to register to vote if you're a current parent or guardian of a current student, UPK through 12. And you don't need to register if you're a current staff member in the school district. We already have your information. You're already verified. You will receive your vote for the people who do not need to register, parents, staff, through Parent Square. All students will actually be voting on paper in school. And then anyone who needed to register, once you're verified, you'll be emailed your survey to vote. If you don't fit into any of these categories, you're not authorized to vote on the new nickname and mascot. If you have questions about that, there's a number at the bottom of this slide. Please give it a call and we'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. So what does the final survey look like? Well, there's going to be a real basic question to start. Do you want to nickname a mascot for the Canandaigua City School District, or do you not want to name a mascot for the Canandaigua City School District? You'll click yes or no. If you say you want a nickname and mascot, you'll then have an option to select from the top 3 from our previous survey as to which one you want. If you said you do not want a nickname or mascot, you're done. You're voting for Canandaigua without a nickname, without a mascot. And if the majority wants a nickname and mascot, you won't have any say in that because you've selected you don't want one. So if the majority of the people taking the survey say they want a nickname and mascot, then whichever one of the 3 is most popular will be the one we bring to the board for final vote and adoption, hopefully. So this is even more in depth what it looks like. Yes, I want to nickname a mascot, or no, I do not. If you select no, then you're done. You're picking Canandaigua without a nickname, without a mascot, just Canandaigua. If you say yes, you will see the top 3 in our last survey: Bears, Cardinals, and Gray Wolves. Bears and Cardinals have consistently been in the top 2 or 3 every single survey. Gray Wolves was something we added a little bit midway through the process. Remember, we did take feedback from people and added some more names to the process based on the feedback. And this is one of the ones that became popular right away. So Bears, Cardinals, or Gray Wolves. So the way I look at this is, we have an opportunity here that, for a long time, since 1949, we believe, we've been known as the Canandaigua Braves. And for many decades, we've actually not had any kind of mascot. And maybe now there's an opportunity to have that. And I want to kind of go through the next few slides to show you what things could look like if we became the Bears, Cardinals, or Gray Wolves. And these are not finalized, they're not official, but they're just concepts that will have you start thinking about what it could be. Regardless, the logos you're seeing on this screen, the Block C was 1791 when we were founded, the Block C or CA, those logos will remain. They're historic, they're timeless, they will remain no matter who we become. If we pick Canandaigua without a nickname and mascot, we're likely limited to only those 3. But if we pick one of the nicknames and mascots, not only will we have those 3, but we'll have other options as well. Again, these are only concepts. They're not official. They're just to help you get an idea. So this is what they would look like for Bears, Cardinals, and Gray Wolves potentially. Here's some logos. It might be one of these. It might be none of these. It might be all 3 of these. But these are some concepts of what it could look like. Remember, our colors are staying the same, cherry and gray. That's not going to change. But what do those colors look like on these logos, on these mascots? We want to give you an idea of what it could be. Also, speaking of mascots, like I said, we haven't had one. But can you imagine what it might look like at a school assembly to have a student there in our mascot? Or at a pep rally, or at an athletic event, or any kind of event, to actually have a mascot and have a student in that mascot. How exciting it might be for our primary and elementary school kids to give the mascot a high five, maybe to take a picture with the mascot on their first day of school, or when they're registering to come to school here. How fun and exciting that might be. Well, here's a mascot for the Bears, for the Cardinals, and for the Gray Wolves that maybe we would have. Can you imagine maybe walking into our buildings, there could be a carving of a bear or a cardinal, or maybe a statue of a gray wolf. Maybe these things are at our stadium, and as our athletes go to take the field, they tap them for good luck and then they take the field. Think about what it could look like and what it could be. What does it actually look like in the stadium to be the home of the Bears, or to have the field look like this? Certainly the field could still have the big CA in the middle like it does now, but the end zones maybe say Bears or maybe say Canandaigua. But what would it look like? What could it look like? It's important for you to see that and to visualize it. Same for the Cardinals with a neon cardinal in the stadium. Or same for the Gray Wolves. What would it look like to have a neon gray wolf? What could the field look like? Again, it could still say just CA and Canandaigua, but it could also look like this. Things to consider. Branding and imagery around our district. So if we were the Bears, we could welcome to Bear Country. The student cheering section could be the Bears Den. We could have acronyms that align with our character traits and a variety of other things that we value as a district. Same with Cardinals. The student cheering section could be the Cardinals Nest. We could have acronyms that align with district values. We could have a variety of branding around the district. And same thing with Wolfpack. The student cheering section could be the Wolfpack. You see a hand gesture that's often common in at NC State, North Carolina State, or even St. Bonaventure more locally, that the students use to signify and cheer for their own student body. Again, acronyms, branding around the campus. What could apparel look like? These are just concepts. These are not formalized and finalized. These are concepts of what it could look like, perhaps. Ultimately, your voice matters. And we hope that people take the time to vote and take the vote seriously. And ultimately, we hope that no matter what we decide is what's best for kids, and we get behind it and we support it. Change is hard. I'm not denying that this is a challenging thing for people to do. But what I will say with certainty is, if we as adults and we as a community can get behind whatever it is and support whatever it is, that's what's going to be good for kids. And so we thank you for your efforts. We thank you for your time watching this. And we look forward to you voting next week. And we will reveal the outcome on November 3rd. So thank you all very much and have a nice day.